Why do we need 4 years engineering courses? We produce the largest number of engineers, but 80% engineers, as somebody mentioned, who are unemployable or unengineerable. Can't we have specialized 1 year courses, which can be any fields? And like EVs is definitely one field. EV and electronics can be part of it. There's a real demand for it. And where ICAT is doing work and ASDC is also doing work. So the challenge today is learn from other industries also. So one, we have to make a change in our industry. Other is learn from other industries. And third, this industry academia interface, which I call the industry academia interface, has to become more stronger. Every pillar has to take up a certain specific responsibility. And if we do this, we move forward. One of the biggest things which happened in the last 100 years, we had a commonality. That is, we had IC engines, which started in the late 19th century, which was there about 1890 and continued till today. And in the last few years, there's been a major transformation. And this transformation is not only in the EV industry. A lot of conventional vehicles, which are the IC engines also, are seeing the transformation, whether you see in terms of sensors, whether you see in terms of analytics, whether in terms of electronics. So there is a transformation. So the change which is happening, which we are looking for scaling for EV, is not only linked to EV, it's even linked to the conventional vehicles, which are part of the old IC engine technology. Now looking at the need or the type of, we used to have a mechanical engineering, which Arindam touched on, and Rashmi is electronics engineer. So we had a branch which got created called mechatronics, which meant that you need to know mechanical engineering, but some electronics also. But the transformation which happened is unbelievable. And now probably if you have to put a branch, I don't know what name would you give to that branch. I think the challenges, let's look at the challenges and the approach forward. Skill sets which are there for the conventional IC engines, right from the design, development, production, supply chain, manufacturing, selling, everything has been linked to IC engines. So you need a complete reincarnation, or I would call it a reinvention or rebirth. And how can this rebirth happen? Now, one, you can say, no, it's a very big, long process, but there are 3-4 areas which can happen. One is the way our education system, up till now we have worked, and this is a major change happening now. This academia industry interface or the centers of excellence interface has to be much, much sharper and clearer. So one peg, you have the IITs, and then you have the second rank engineering colleges, the diploma, the ITI. They represent the value chain. Other side, you have centers of excellence in government, whether it's SCI, whether ICAT, whether ARI, or whether it's ASDC. That's the second part of it. And then you have clearly companies which also do a major job in terms of training. And fourth, how can we learn from other industries? Because as Rashmi mentioned, a lot of things which you're going to do in this part of industry have already been covered in some manner with the phenomenal growth in the telecom industry or the electronic industry or the computer industry. So I think we have to take an amalgamation of these parts. One of the learnings which when you talk to foreign collaborators or when you talk to foreign countries, they say one of the challenges in our system has been, which limits the growth of education, has been the focus on concepts rather than an application, and then focus on specialist versus generalist. Generalist instead of being a specialist. So what I think is need is designing specific programs, especially focused on the industry. And some programs can be a relearning process. Some could be a short process. Why do we need 4 years engineering courses? We produce the largest number of engineers, but 80% engineers, as somebody mentioned, who are unemployable or unengineerable. Can't we have specialized 1-year courses, which can be any fields? And like EVs is definitely one field. EV and electronics can be part of it. There's a real demand for it. And where ICAT is doing work and ASDC is also doing work. So the challenge today is learn from other industries also. So one, we have to make a change in our industry. Other is learn from other industries. And third, this industry academia interface, which I call the industry academia interface, has to become more stronger. Every pillar has to take up a certain specific responsibility. And if we do this, we move forward. I think since we are talking of the entire value chain, we always forget the dealer end. 40,000 dealers in the country and a lot of authorized garages even. So how do you make this transformation? And I think what EdTech has shown in the last 2-3 years, I'm not trying to hold a candle for Byju's or an academy, but a lot of digital learning can be a very good way to leapfrog rather than waiting for a long time. So that's something which has to be emerged. So it would be a good idea to even take, you can say, the help or the support or the alliance or collaboration with companies which are in the tech sector. So I think this sort of thing we do, and we take on a war footing, but with clear stakeholders, every stakeholder focusing on a certain area, we can meet this challenge. But I think there has to be a cohesion, a collaboration, and more of a symphony rather than a cacophony. So all these key stakeholders need to put their heads down and say, what areas are we going to address, how are we going to do it, how are we going to collaborate, and how are we going to merge.